안녕.
감사합니다.
What is this? We're selling ETFs?
여러분 안녕하세요. 이번에는 팔란티어의 CFO를 모셨는데요. 정말 대단한 분이고 어렵게 시간을 내주셨습니다. 팔란티어라는 회사는 지금 AI 소프트웨어 시장에서 가장 주목받고 있는 회사라고 해도 과언이 아닙니다. 오늘 인터뷰를 한번 들으시면 팔란티어가 이런 회사구나 라고 느끼실 수 있을 건데요. 관련되어 있는 ETF도 함께 소개해드릴 예정이니까요. 오늘 인터뷰 잘 보시면 좋겠습니다. 그럼 바로 시작해보겠습니다. So, hi Dave.
Hi,
Hi, are you ready for the interview?
I'm ready to go.
For Korean investors who may be new to Palantir, or there are a lot of people who love it, would you introduce yourself and your role at Palantir, please?
Absolutely. So I'm Dave Glazer, Palantir's CFO. I've been at the company for 13 years. So since like early 2013, and enjoy sort of working with Alex and all the other people around, and I was part of the company when we went public, so CFO there, and oversee a number of operational areas within the company as well as the finance function.
I'm sure there are a lot of people are familiar with Palantir. You saw the love when you guys had the pop store.
I missed it, but it looked incredible. Yeah, I wasn't there, but I saw the videos. The line around the block, and like Alex and others had like an incredible time.
Right, it was crazy. But
We'll
he
be
was
back.
there, right?
We'll be back.
Oh, you guys are coming
you're
back?
Yeah. We will come back with no date yet, but we will come back with another pop-up.
Well, we're waiting for you then. So how would you describe your company's mission and core value proposition?
Yeah, look, I think at the end of the day, whether it's a commercial customer, whether it's a government customer, we want our customers to win, right? And so how do they win? By deploying our software to make better operational decisions in their enterprise or in their organization, institution, whatever it is, like using AI, right? And that like is what it is at its core. So whether that's like a hospital, making better decisions around nurse and doctor staffing, whether that's OD around warfighters, planning operations, et cetera. It's all about how can our customers make better operational decisions using software.
So since you explained about it, I'll give you a follow-up question. Palantir both supports government and the commercial sectors. That's right? How do you see the current balance between them and the future trajectory?
Yeah. So I think generally in any given quarter, any given year, right, like roughly 50-50 between commercial and government. I think if you're looking at like what we're excited about, we're excited about geographically about the US, right? So you have the US commercial business that's growing 121% year over year. Right, it grew almost 30% sequentially just in Q3. Then you have a U.S. government business, over 50%, grew 14% sequentially as well this past quarter. And you sort of like both of those are really, really going. And then you look outside the U.S. and it's a little bit more nuance of a story, but you see like pockets of growth that we're really excited about. Like Korea, for example, is a place where we're sort of having strong traction and you're seeing growth. Place like the UK, working with the NHS, with the military there. So sort of exceptionally excited about the U.S. and then sort of pockets of growth around the world.
So you believe that both segments are going to grow at a similar speed, I guess?
So we don't give long-term guidance on both sectors, okay. but the way to think about it is like they're both incredibly important, right? Like and you think about like there's nothing more important than sort of enabling the West, the allies of the West, right? On sort of in the defense context, right? It's incredibly important, but then it's like our U.S. business on the commercial side is like just growing incredibly rapidly.
I think, for the government side, the governments are really, sensitive towards their information or data. Does Palantir have other ties other than U.S. government in the world?
Yeah, so like I think one way, we don't obviously say every country that we work with, but like one way to think about it would be like, look, where do we have offices, right? It's like, well, we have an office in Seoul, right? We have an office in Tokyo. We have an office in Doha, and I can keep going on where we have offices. So like really there's like a tremendous number of countries that we outside the US, but they just, all of them have in common that they're, aligned with the West or aligned with US interests.
Oh, I see.
Hello.
Oh.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
What is this? We're selling ETFs?
We fist bumped each other. I don't know if you remember that.
No, but it sounds like it was memorable.
Well, it was memorable for him.
Yeah.
You actually know that Korean investors love Palantir in their...
Oh, I know that. I mean, I don't know if you saw this video we put out of Korea. Like it shut our pop-up shut down the whole street.
I know. We were there, so
Yeah.
we saw it.
Yeah.
So that's why you kind
Well,
of came there.
I know. I said like when I was in high school, all of my friends were Korean. My first girlfriend was Korean. My favorite is chunga kimchi.
총각 김치.
Is there a reason why you like chonga kimchi rather than just kimchi?
Well, I mean, I like gaktogi, the chunga kimchi, gaktogi, kimchi, on that order. Yeah, and then my favorite, when I was a kid, I would eat kimchi jjigae in winter all the time.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess the love for Korea and...
I know my mom is a collector of Korean art, so I'm super delighted that I have all these fans.
Wow.
You have huge fans.
Huge fans.
You're a celebrity in Korea.
I'm really proud of that. I actually am. I really do. It makes me so happy. I'm thinking I should move there or something.
We would be happy to.
Yeah.
It's a good surprise that Dr. Karp just joined us during our interview.
Right.
Very nice to have you here. And you're very welcome. And maybe I'll see you guys later.
Great.
Okay,
I'll
take
see you
care.
later.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you.
What was the effect of Palantir on the Korean ETF landscape?
I think like the emergence of Palantir for the past couple of years, there has been a lot of ETFs that's coming out in Korea with heavy exposure of Palantir. And as some ETF has Palantir in their names, ETF names, for Tiger, we launched a Palantir-focused ETF earlier this year, which is called Tiger US AI Software Top 4 Plus. That has Palantir of over 1/4 of the total portfolio, which is a lot. This ETF has seen enormous success right out of the gate when it launched, and the AUM of this ETF is around 100 million as of right now, which is really successful for us. And on top of that, we do have our flagship ETF called Tiger US Tech Top 10, which has been launched in 2021. This ETF consists of companies listed in NASDAQ and top 10 company in terms of market cap. And we are expecting to add Palantir in this ETF for our next quarterly rebalancing. This is really remarkable from my point of view because Palantir has been included in NASDAQ 100 index only a year ago. This actually means that for the past year, the growth of Palantir has been really remarkable, and we are really looking forward to adding Palantir to our Tiger US Tech Top 10 ETF.
Great. It's very interesting news. Thank you for sharing with us. So, individual teams actually make the decision for the customers, really?
Not like the customer's operational decisions, but I'm saying like technical implementation decisions, or like, hey, the customer really wants us to sort of build out this workflow. What do you think? Right, like, things like that. And it's like, we believe that the people closest to the actual problem are the best suited to make the decision. Not like, are you more senior? Are you less senior? Right? Like, and by decentralizing like authority, it leads to like faster decision making, which is like incredibly important to the company.
So as a CFO of Palantir, how do you envision the company in like 3 or 5 or 10 years maybe?
Yeah, well, like 10 years, like light years in Palantir, you know, like, but no, but like the way to think about it, we want to continue to enable our customers to win, right? And that we want them to do that on our platform, and we think we can drive like incredible value for them. And when I think about like, you know, if you're thinking about financial metrics, what are we thinking about? It's like our Rule of 40 score, 114%. When I think like what I'm excited about, it's like our revenue growth, right, coupled with sort of our margins, Rule 40, right? So last quarter we were 63% revenue, 51% adjusted operating margin. So it's like that revenue scale of 63%, like with these margins, like unprecedented. It's an N of 1, right? And it really shows sort of like the operating leverage in our business and how that sort of like we can continue on, right? There can be thousands of customers just in the US alone in the US commercial business. And then you just start thinking internationally. Like, so where we are sort of in our journey is still like the beginning. And as you can see, like Alex was just in here, right? Like people are like very fired up, right? You know, he's been in this 20 years, been 13 years. And like so many people have been here so long, but like we just want to win for our customers. And so like, that's what you're sort of like seeing the energy doing that.
We can totally feel the energy at the office.
Good,
because
yeah.
we were here yesterday, we were here today. You can see how energetic people are so into it.
They are. Like, and working here is like unlike working anywhere else. Like, you know, people are like, oh, it's a cult, it's this, it's that. It's like, it's not that it's a cult, but it's like, there's a intense like commitment to the mission, right? And if you buy into that and you're part of that, it really is like a wonderful place to be. It's almost like a family. It's like, and like, you know, people talk like work-life balance, all these things. It's like very blurred, right? It's like people work incredibly hard, but it's a place that looks after people and like people really want to be part of. So it's an incredible culture.
I know this is not your part, but could you tell us about what kind of technological leadership that Palantir might have in about like 3 or 5 years among the AI software companies?
So the nice thing about this question is like, it's easy for me to answer this in many ways because it's like tech moves so fast, right? So if you like think about like 2 years ago, we launched AIP and you see where it is today. And like, so like in 3 to 5 years, it's like, we don't know the exact products that will be like, you know, we have ideas and we obviously have views on that. But in terms of like, things move so fast. And so the one thing that's constant is we're developing product. It's, you know, there's always resource constraints in this company. There's never enough this, never enough that, never enough FTEs. And so it's like, well, what do? It's like you build product to meet that need. So it's like, there aren't enough FTEs. What do? You build AI FTE so more can be automated, right? And so this is just like how the company works. And so it's like, as you think 3 to 5 years ahead, we'll absolutely be building product, you know, that will be driving the top line and essentially creating value where we see.
For Korean investors who love Palantir and those who are just discovering it, what is the key message that you would like to convey to them?
Yeah, look, I think one, thank you for like taking the time to listen to us and to look at Palantir. And I think like Palantir is like an incredibly unique company, right? With incredibly unique financials and with incredibly unique customers, right? And what you're seeing is the more people adopt Palantir in their own business, or whether in the government case, it's like some of that tech leverage is flowing through to their financials or to their outcomes, right? And we're like, as a company, like deeply committed, like to customers first and for achieving sort of like value at the customers. And so like really that is what we're about. And I actually think we're an incredible fit for the Korean market. It's still like pretty early, but like, you know, like you take the proxy, like the people buying tech at Korean companies are proxy these people that are at the pop-up store, right? And that are investors. And I think one of the things that we see is like, it takes courage to think about Palantir and to sort of buy Palantir because it looks different than everything else. It's not just like sort of out of the box. It looks like this, looks like that. It's like, it is a different way to approach a company or approach life. And so, you know, excited for Korean investors to be on that journey.
I think this is like one of the biggest controversies or debate that the world is having right now in terms of investing, which is that AI right now is in a bubble stage. I think you're the most appropriate person that I could ask because you're a CFO. In your point of view, how do you view the AI bubble theory?
So I can tell you from my experience, right? And like sort of my personal perspective is like, you know, we've never seen demand like this before, right? From our customers, right? And it's because the people want to adopt AI in the enterprise to be able to make better decisions, be more efficient, right? And do more with less, right? And then I think you couple that with, okay, like where right now in the cycle are we seeing, you know, there's value creation and it's going to, you know, chips and ontology, right? And we obviously have the ontology. And so that's what we're seeing right now. There's still unprecedented demand. And I think like, you know, the LLMs that are being developed, it's hugely exciting. They are continuing to improve at a rapid pace. But obviously they look, you know, these companies obviously look much different from a profitability perspective. And I think, you know, obviously continue to watch how it plays out.
So you think it's not a bubble yet?
I think that the tech is incredibly transformational and that like the world will not go back to a world like pre-LLMs, right? And sort of like, I don't know what that means for the success of any one AI company, right? But I know what it means for us, right? And where it's like, we've never had demand like this. Our customers have never been this eager to adopt tech. And then the reality is because it's the only way to use AI in your enterprise that works, right? And have things in production workflows that you're actually using data to make better operational decisions. And so like, that is what we're focused on. But I do like overall stepping back, like it is a totally transformational technology, LLMs in itself. And I think like with, you know, the world isn't going back to what it was.
I agree with you. We cannot live without AI anymore. Yeah, it's not going back. So is there anything you would like to add on to the interview? Because we're kind of closing.
And words for Korean.
I think, hopefully you meet more and more of Palantir in the market, right? And I think, we have a small office in Seoul. Over time, I think that's going to get bigger. And we see cultural, just how we run the company is very, there's cultural similarities to Korea and Koreans. And I think that's actually part of the reason that there's some of the sort of interest and alignment. You can see the CEO that loves really deep knowledge and loves kimchi. But no, and I think there's more to come, really. And we're really just at the beginning.
Would you like to say goodbye to them in Korean?
I would love to.
You say 안녕,
안녕.
and you say thank you, 감사합니다.
Say that again.
감사합니다.
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 Great.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
감사합니다.
Okay.
여러분.
여러분.
Thank you.
I'll
Thank
stop.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time, Dave.
안녕.
감사합니다.
What is this? We're selling ETFs?
타이거 ETF